Have you been looking for Charlotte Mason curriculum and you just don't know where to start? Maybe you find there's just too much out there labeled as Charlotte Mason and you don't know where to begin. Well, stick around because I am going to talk about all the top true Charlotte Mason curriculum that I could find out there and compare how they differ from everything else. So if you're interested in that, stick around. There is an awful lot of curriculum out there that claim to be Charlotte Mason. Now, if you pay close attention, you'll notice that they will say Charlotte Mason inspired because they're not claiming to be Charlotte Mason curriculum that is based on solely the Charlotte Mason philosophy. They are really applying parts of Charlotte Mason or what they think Charlotte Mason is all about and applying it to their curriculum. And so not everything out there that claims to be Charlotte Mason inspired is what Charlotte Mason in fact intended for home education to be like. And how do I know this? Well, we know this because Charlotte Mason actually started what she called parent union schools. She started schools and ran the schools for over 30 years and passed it on to those that worked with her and knew her philosophy well when she passed away. And so we know very clearly what her schools were like and what her education philosophy was all about because A, she wrote them down in her volumes, and because her schools ran by her for many decades and we could see what she intended through her education and how she planned her curriculum. So we can know what is a Charlotte Mason curriculum by comparing it to Charlotte Mason's parent union schools and her books to see if they do follow closely to her philosophies. Now, in an upcoming video, I do plan on actually going through what the Charlotte Mason fallacies are, what people, the myths, what people believe Charlotte Mason is all about, and what she really is all about. I think I'll talk about that next because that's also quite important to know. But today I just want to talk about the curriculum. And I also mentioned in my last video that I chose the Alvary. So the Alvary is a Charlotte Mason curriculum, and I will talk about the Alvary as well. But I want to start with Ambleside Online. Now, a lot of people are familiar with Ambleside Online. People that don't even intend to follow Charlotte Mason's philosophies use Ambleside Online because it is an amazing resource that has been around for over 30 years that was started by people that were avid Charlotte Mason followers. They read all of her works, they read all of her articles in the Parents Union, the review. They had a journal article that would release all of her articles that were written by Charlotte Mason educators, teaching parents how to educate their parents at home and how to follow Charlotte Mason's philosophies. And these were all things that Charlotte Mason wrote for it as well. And so these Ambleside Online was created by 6 women who really believed in Charlotte Mason's education and saw that it was lacking in the homeschooling and even any kind of education format, even private schooling and things like that. It was just lacking. There was nothing like it. There was nothing comparable, and they truly believed in it. When they had read Charlotte's volumes and other books written by people who also believed in Charlotte Mason, they were inspired. So they started Ambleside Online over 30 years ago, and essentially what it is the entire Charlotte Mason curriculum available for free online. They plan out all the books that you will read from year to year. They describe how long each lesson should be. They show you how to break it up by terms 1, 2, and 3. There are many resources available. There's a forum where you can go and discuss and ask questions. They have all of Charlotte's volumes available for free through their website, and several ways that you can train and educate yourself as a homeschooling mom. It's all available for free. It is amazing, and everyone who loves Charlotte Mason does from time to time take part in Ambleside Online's curriculum. They have wonderful choices available, and it really has been the inspiration for all the other Charlotte Mason curriculum out there. It's the originator, other than Charlotte Mason herself, because Charlotte Mason's philosophy and education sort of disappeared for quite some time. She lived until 1923, and her schools were going on in Britain, but her educational philosophies were just not mainstream, and no one really knew about her until Ambleside Online sort of brought it back into existence and has since spread it around the world. There are people on every continent who are taking part in Ambleside Online, and Charlotte Mason schools, homeschools, private schools, co-ops popping up all over the place because of Ambleside Online, their work and what they have started. Now, about a decade ago, about 9 to 10 years ago, other similar online formats began to pop up. So I don't know exactly which one came around first, but the CMEC is another online curriculum that is not free. You pay for a membership. It's an annual family membership where you have access to all the resources from grades. They start with their kindergarten, which they call Kinderleben, all the way up to grade 12. And you have access to the entirety of all their resources every year for an annual fee, I believe $299, $300, let's say, a year, which is amazing. And you have access to all of their resources, everything from language arts, math, history, every single Charlotte Mason subject, which there are way more subjects in the Charlotte Mason curriculum than there are in a regular public school subject. I mean, in public school, there may be 8 or 9 subjects. Well, we had about 16 subjects for my children this past year in grade 1 and grade 4. And there's actually more than that. We didn't include everything, but we will be including everything this coming year. But so they include all the subjects, they include all the books, they lay it out over the 3 terms and tell you exactly what you should be reading and all those kinds of things. There is an amazing, CMEC I think is the best in terms of resources for homeschooling moms. They have mother and homeschooling mom classes that you can sign up, seminars, webinars, all of these resources where you can educate yourself from everything from being a mother to being a teacher. It's referred to as a mother teacher. And they just offer the most resources and extra things that you can do as a mother to feed your own mind and help you improve your teaching abilities. Ambleside Online also has resources, but I would say CMAC has the most and probably the best resources in terms of education for the mom. They also have an online forum where you can go in and talk to other moms, ask questions and things like that. And there's just tons of lessons available and resources available for all the things that Charlotte Mason intended for students to learn. The next one that came out, now they've said that they've been around for about 9 years. CMEC probably is about the same. The Alvary came out about 9 years ago, and they also are essentially the exact same thing. They offer everything that Charlotte Mason planned for students to learn, all the subjects. They've broken it down by terms, but the one added bonus that none of the others have, the Ambleside and CMEC, is that they include all the lesson plans. When it comes to Ambleside Online and CMEC, it's really up to you to decide, what will I discuss? Okay, here's the page numbers, but now what will we talk about? What more will we do? They will give you suggestions, like CMAC and Ambleside Online will give some suggestions what to do, but it's really up to you to know Charlotte Mason's method well in order to proceed. So you really have to have a firm grasp of Charlotte Mason, her methods and her philosophies, to just be able to be given the book lists, given the page numbers, now go teach your kids. They do also, and that's why they offer such deep resources in educating and teaching you, but it's still up to you to have to learn how to be a Charlotte Mason homeschooling mom. The Alvary, on the other hand, they offer a lot of resources. There's tons of videos. They teach you the whole foundations through videos of Charlotte Mason's methods, and there's tons of resources available for you there as well. They also have their community called The Hive, where you can go on and ask questions and talk to other homeschooling moms. They also have office hours on Wednesdays where you can call or email them to ask them questions if you're struggling with anything at all. But the lesson plans are set up so that if you decided to do Charlotte Mason today, you could pick that curriculum up and you would be able to be successful in teaching your kid the Charlotte Mason method. And through following the lesson plans, you would be learning how to use Charlotte Mason's method. You could go in with really out any ideas or skill or knowledge at all in Charlotte Mason and successfully use her method. Now, the alveary, as I didn't mention, the alveary is a word used for a hive. It's another word used for a beehive, and the hive was what Charlotte Mason called her school that she had first started. And so that's where the term the alveary comes from. It's a word that means hive, and so they are using it in memory of Charlotte Mason's first school called the Hive. You could just sit there and open and go and do Charlotte Mason successfully. Everyone loves the idea of open and go. They just want all the work taken out for them, and you can still do Charlotte Mason that way and learn as you go. You will find the more and more, like I still have to look and read my script and follow along to teach my kids, but my friend who has been doing Charlotte Mason for a few years now very easily doesn't even need to follow the lesson plans. In fact, she's often supplementing with things from Ambleside Online or doing her own thing. She may pick up a book and say, I think I'd like to do it a little differently. And you can totally do that because she has grown and learned, grown in her knowledge of Charlotte Mason and how the whole thing works. So the alveary is my favorite. That is the one that I have picked. Now, they are, to me, are the top three. To show some differences between the three of them as well, I would say that the CMEC is the most closely resembles Charlotte Mason's own school in England. And here is why. Because they are actually using the exact same curriculum Charlotte Mason used over 100 years ago. They would be what I would call Charlotte Mason purists. They want to teach in the exact same way, using the exact same books, in the exact same old language. Now, when I first started researching Charlotte Mason, I actually was quite interested in doing that myself. I was just so fascinated with her and so excited about starting. I wanted to be a Charlotte Mason purist. But as I began to read Charlotte Mason's volumes, I realized that Charlotte Mason would not necessarily want us to stick with the old simply for the sake of the fact that it might have been well-written, beautiful works. If things have changed, she wanted her students to have the most up-to-date information because she knew that things changed. Things don't stay the same. We are making new discoveries, scientifically, historically, culturally, socially, all the time. And so the books need to be up to date. Ambleside Online is a mixture of the original works and slightly more modern, whereas the alveary uses a better mixture of more current and modern books with the wonderfully, beautifully well-written older classics that still have something to say to us today, more so in literature. Of course, when it comes to science and even up-to-date styles of writing, what I love about the alveary is it's not this old style of writing that is very difficult for our children to understand. I would say one of the biggest complaints that I've heard from homeschooling families about Ambleside Online is the fact that their children are having a hard time understanding the books. They're finding them the language too old, and they're finding it a bit too dry, and they're not understanding it. So when I've got to test out the Alvary this past year, I was really excited to find that my kids were tracking well with the books. They were wonderfully well written, rich language, but yet they were simple enough for them to understand. And so the Alvary really chooses a great book list that is a mixture of old and new, and is still staying true to the Charlotte Mason method. So those are the three differences. I would say CMEC, the most old and true to Charlotte Mason's original methods and books. Ambleside Online is sort of in the middle with being a mixture of new and old, and Alvary is a mixture of new and old, but is a leaning more to some newer works that are still very richly and well written. Now, two more I'd like to add to the list today, and you may love these, and they're if you choose them, they're still wonderful. I just don't make them my top three. They'd be my next top two, would be Simply Charlotte Mason. Has been around for over a decade, but definitely less than 20 years. It's probably more like 10 to 15 years at the most. They don't have dates of when they first started on their website, so it's hard to know, but I have heard of Simply Charlotte Mason for quite a long time. Sonia Schaefer is the originator of Simply Charlotte Mason, and she began the curriculum with another family friend where they began to put curriculum together. Now, Simply Charlotte Mason originally had everything by textbook. You could buy in hardcover or soft cover. They now sell ebooks as well, but you need to buy all of their textbooks to follow their curriculum. She definitely follows Charlotte Mason's method and philosophy, but it's a little bit different because she and her curriculum writers write all of their books. They do recommend other outside living works, other books, modern and old as well, but you follow along with their curriculum that they wrote, their texts that they wrote as the spine, and then you read the passages from the living works that they recommend. One thing that I find that makes it different is that when you have a team like Ambleside Online and the Alvary and CMEC, it is a team of many, many people putting their minds together and putting a book list together. Whereas Simply Charlotte Mason is essentially Sonia Schaefer. Now, I'm sure she does work with other people to discuss books choices, but it is primarily her, and her guides are all written by her and her team. When it comes to CMEC, the Alvary, and Ambleside Online, they don't write textbooks. There are no guides that you're following, that you're reading their writing and then reading outside material. You are reading the living book, and they're just saying, here's some questions to ask about that. Here's some supplemental activities to do about that. But you're reading the original works, not the words and works of the teacher. Charlotte Mason has taught us that we need to learn from great minds. We're not trying to learn from our own minds, although we may be pretty smart. We are learning from the greats. That's who you want to spread out in front of your children, are the greats. And so, whereas a lot of her writing, I do have a few of Simply Charlotte Mason's books. She does take bits and pieces from great writing and put them into her spine, but the body of it is written by her. And it's just, I would say it's not my favorite way for a curriculum to be put together. But she does have some wonderful books out there, and she has really a lot of great resources as well. So her website also has a lot of resources. She has a YouTube channel where she really offers some wonderful teaching for homeschool moms to learn Charlotte Mason's method. And they also have a community where you can go. They have a Facebook group, and I believe an online community as well, a forum where you can discuss with other homeschooling moms as well. So those things are the same. And the second one that I would say is not quite at the same level as the top three would be A Gentle Feast. Now, I have never used A Gentle Feast. This is just based on others that have spoken about it, as well as from what I can research about it. It has not been around long as well. It's been out for less than a decade, I would say. And she also is the writer, one person, one homeschooling mom, who loved Charlotte Mason's method and began homeschooling, and she couldn't find anything that she liked, and so she began to put together her own Charlotte Mason curriculum. Now, of course, Ambleside Online would have been out there, and that's really been the guidance for a lot of other Charlotte Mason curriculum. But she put together her own curriculum. Now, she includes everything but math. And a note to make that all the other curriculum do speak to math. Simply Charlotte Mason have their own math curriculum. So they literally have everything all included. I'll make another note about something else in a moment. But Ambleside Online, the Alvary, and CMEC, they also include math with the plan for math. The Alvary recommends Right Start Math. CMEC, I'm not sure which math they recommend. It may be the same. And you could choose your own math as well and just follow their lesson plans for math. The A Gentle Feast does not even have math included in their lesson planning. You just go and do your own math, and she covers the geography, history, science, and literature. Basically, that's it. Hers as well is written in the same way, where so simply Charlotte Mason puts geography, history, and Bible together as one functioning curriculum. So as you're reading about history, you're learning about geography, and it's following the Bible throughout that entire history. If you're talking about, say, ancient times and things like that, but it is together. It's not a separate curriculum. It's all combined. So some people like to learn history, geography, Bible as separate entities. Simply Charlotte Mason and A Gentle Feast combines it. She also has, A Gentle Feast, now we'll get back to, also has a book list that doesn't seem to be as a great book list as I would say the other Charlotte Mason curriculum book lists are. And again, I guess my one thing that I would say is that she is the entire curriculum producer. She would be the one to be reviewing all the great books and adding books to her book list. And again, she may consult with people, but by name, it is her company, and she is the one putting all of this together. And so I think having a team of people putting books together and coming up with ideas together, like you obviously can't read all the books yourself to know if it's really a great book. And so with the Alvary, for example, they have a team of people who are reviewing and digging and looking for the greatest books. That would be much easier to do than to have one person, okay, which one is the great books, and putting lists together. So it's just, I think having a team of people does turn out a much better curriculum and program. Now, what I wanted to go back around to in terms of pricing is obviously Ambleside Online is free. You do have to buy or go to the library, or they offer links for whatever they can get to you for free. Links for free resources online where you can get ebooks that are for free, or print out PDFs and things like that. So other than buying your living books or getting them by the library, it's a free curriculum. The Alvary and CMEC are both $300 a year family membership where you have access to absolutely everything. And simply Charlotte Mason I found to be quite expensive. You have to pay for each individual book. So you're paying for the teacher's guide, the student workbook, each individual for each subject, and they are quite expensive. Even when I did try to get her book, so I got her Laying Down the Rails, the teaching habits for children, and the main teacher's guide, and then the book for the kids together. Oh, that was nearly, with shipping and tax, probably about $100 just for that set here in Canada, because it's American and they don't do free shipping to Canada. So they would do free shipping if you paid for over a certain amount in the United States, but even in American, I found it quite expensive. Even the ebooks, where you're just looking at the books online and then you could print them if you like, were quite expensive. Some of them upwards of $20 for one ebook. So it really added up. And in addition to that, you have to buy all the living books if you wanted to supplement, if you were going to read beyond her spine. I found that to be very pricey. And Gentle Feast as well, all the books are priced out individually. There's not like a one, so she had one bundle where it was a bundle, I think, of where you could get one subject. And then each subject was, so like one was $99, another bundle if you wanted to add on literature was $59.99, if you wanted to add on history, another $59. So it actually, and they were available in print or in ebook as well. And they were quite pricey, I would say. And I just would say that the book lists weren't quite up to par compared to other Charlotte Mason curriculum. So those are, I can't think if I have any more thoughts on it. Those are sort of the top true Charlotte Mason. And so Simply Charlotte Mason and A Gentle Feast, they do follow Charlotte Mason's philosophies. So if you were interested in looking for something that follows Charlotte Mason's philosophy, I would say that the Alvary is the most user-friendly if you're brand new to Charlotte Mason. It's beautifully written. The books that they choose are just beautiful and fun, and there's just so much to it. If I can just list some of the things that are in a Charlotte Mason curriculum, of course, there's the core things like math and language arts and history and geography. There's music and art and Bible. There is physical education, where they're going to teach you something called Swedish drill, folk dancing. There is other types, forms of art. So there's art where you're looking at art and studying art, and then where you are learning things called brush drawing, where you're learning and drawing. There's handicrafts where you will learn clay molding and sewing and cooking and lots of kinds of things. What else is there's poetry, there's Shakespeare, there is, and I just love how they do their history. Instead of just choosing a history course, you do cycle through, you do a cycle, but you're going to be learning your own land's history. So this is how Charlotte Mason does it. You're learning about where you live. So we're in Canada, so we'd be doing Canadian history. You're also at the same time learning about world history, and then you're cycling through learning about ancient and then Middle Ages and the Renaissance and forward like that. And so you're learning about not just, like, oh, I'm just learning ancient, and by the time it might take forever before you can get to, your current, the history of the land that you live in. So you're cycling through and learning about each. There's just so much more to say about Charlotte Mason and about her curriculum. But if you have any questions at all, please drop me a question below. I would be happy to answer. And if it's going to be too long of an answer, I'll reply back with a video, because there's just so much and I can't think of it all. I don't have a script. I'm just trying to tell you what I know about Charlotte Mason. But I'm kind of wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, because I know that this is the time of year where you might be now looking for curriculum to start next year. You might want something completely different. You may be brand new to homeschooling and you don't know where to start. Let me encourage you that the Alvary is a wonderful place to start, because you will get everything you need and you don't really have to know a whole lot about homeschooling before you can jump right in. But I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.